welcome to another episode of the playonultra podcast. This is what episode 165.
Yeah. There you go.
No Foe this week. He is... I forgot what he's doing. I think he's at parents or something.
Oh, he's at a party?
Parents' place.
No, he's at a birthday party for somebody, family member or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's somebody cool or what, but he said he wanted to go.
He said they were okay, but it was mandatory.
Yeah. But we have SingVogel. She's back.
Hello, hello.
Yay.
So, Vo, what have you been doing since the last time we saw you?
Oh my gosh. When was the last time?
I don't know.
I don't
A few months, I think, at least.
It's been a while.
What have you been up to? Let's just go with the past
streaming, right?
month.
Yeah, so I've been streaming Danganronpa whenever I do stream. The weather here has been absolutely terrible. So I just got over having the flu and a really bad sinus infection. Yesterday was the day that I didn't sound really shitty and just awful.
Is it one of those where you just press your face and it hurts?
Oh, it was I get really, really bad sinus infections. But yeah, you just touch your head right here or here and it's just So, the weather is just really messed me up here. But fortunately, I've been playing Pokemon Shield.
I've been playing Pokemon Shield.
Oh man! I haven't
yes. So I picked the perfect time to get sick because then I could just sit in bed and just play. So that is what I've been doing for the past however long it's been out.
I took a couple of days to play, just a couple of days off.
Yeah.
Super nice. So who did you choose? I chose the monkey.
I did. I choose Grookey because
oh my goodness,
nobody else. Well, the thing about it is I really like Scorbunny. I think Scorbunny is absolutely adorable, and I love rabbits. The monkey is just really cute. I mean, it's just adorable, and it makes adorable sounds. But nobody else in my friend group chose Grookey at all.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Almost everybody chose Scorbunny, and I think 2 other people chose Sobble. So...
Oh, I'm guessing Scorbunny is the popular one in this generation then.
Maybe. Yeah, it's funny.
Well, I think Fire, though, is typically the popular one anyway.
Yeah, that's true. It's weird because I just got my Fire badge and I don't really have a proper Fire Pokemon on my team.
You know, I noticed that too. It really is a lack of Fire Pokemon
outside of the starter, right?
Outside of the starter.
Yeah.
I noticed that too.
But
I just
with the
finished
Dynamax thing, with that max
gym.
rate battle thing, it kind of helps because I got that Centipede Fire Bug one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one pretty cool.
I do like that one. Scorpede?
Something, I can't remember.
Something
it
that.
It evolves into Scentiscorch, which is...
Yeah,
Scentiscorch. Okay.
These names are reaching.
Yeah. And Scorbunny, the score is not Scorch. It's score as in soccer score.
Yeah.
Yeah. But have you evolved it into the last one? I can't remember what his name. The Grookey's last.
No, I haven't used him enough to evolve him into the final evolution. I have him into the second evolution, but one of my friends gave me a Ditto, so I kind of stuffed him in one of the nurseries and just been mass producing Grookeys to give out to people.
Nice.
So,
I heard Pokemon
really
communities like to do mass surprise trades on Christmas and New Year's Eve because a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I fucking got a Scorbunny and a Sobble a few days ago. It was super cool.
So, I think that the surprise trades are really cool.
Yeah, I love that.
Fair warning, that this is the first actual Pokemon game that I have played since Gold and Silver.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so since Gen 2. So a lot of the things that surprise me or that I feel are really cool and new features to me may not be new features to everybody else. So I might get super excited. Were there surprise trades and stuff like that in the past games.
Just the 3DS ones, if I'm not mistaken.
See, I've never done any of that. I don't even have 3DS. So.
One of the features I think is new. I'm not like a Pokemon hardcore fan or anything, but I play the games.
Yeah.
I just love playing the games because the core loop is so fun.
Yeah.
You can access your box without going to a Pokemon Center now.
Really?
Yeah.
That was one of the
That's insane.
things.
When they gave the Pokemon box link to me, I'm like, oh my god, I can access my Pokemon box without going to the freaking Pokemon Center. The only time you can't access it is like when you're doing a gym.
Okay.
Which is,
That's fair.
whatever. The gyms are really fun too.
Yeah.
The gyms are fun. I love the challenges that they added to the very beginnings.
Yeah.
So there are some differences between Sword and Shield. So the fourth gym, the one that I just did, that one is different for both games. So
Shield is the ghost one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure like how deep of spoilers I was supposed to give. For
Everybody
that,
knows that one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Shield is ghost and Sword is fighting. And there's like this little boat that you have to navigate. I don't know if it's the same for Sword or not, but it's absolutely the coolest little puzzle that I've done in a Pokemon game. I don't know.
Nice.
I think it's super cool.
I like the first one where the grass gym where you have to roll the freaking Wooloos into that. It was really cute.
Yeah.
Wooloo's cute.
That was adorable. The second one was boring.
The second one was boring.
I don't even remember what it was.
It's the water one where you have to turn on and off the water to get through the platforms.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was
The fire one was okay.
That was super easy.
The fire one wasn't fun, but it was interesting, I think.
What was the fire one?
The fire one is you have to get points. So you gotta get 5 points by either defeating or capturing Pokemon. But the gym trainers will also be there trying to defeat it. So if they get the last hit, you don't get the point. Which I thought it was an interesting style. It just wasn't really fun, but it was interesting though.
I thought that was actually really interesting. I think I've pushed it out of my mind because I tried to catch a Vulpix and I couldn't catch it.
I got it. I got it yesterday.
I didn't. I was so pissed. So I was like, no! Because it was like the first Vulpix that I had seen. And I can't catch any of the ones like that are in the wild area because they're too high level for me. So I was just pissed. But, so the cool thing about that gym challenge is that you can kind of circumvent your opponents that are trying to catch the Pokemon too and just kill their Pokemon.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You
can kill the other person's Pokemon. Also, whenever you're doing
yeah, I was gonna say like Duel is in Lavender Town.
Dual Pokemon battles. So you have out 2 Pokemon at the same time. You have certain moves that affect the entire arena, and you can kill your own Pokemon from that. And that's something that's completely brand new to me. I was like, oh my god, I'm hitting my Pokemon with my
Do you have a
critical
3DS?
swing? No.
You might like Sun and Moon. I mean, the story and all is kind of meh, but the starters and the Pokemons are pretty cool.
Yeah, I never got a 3DS. Like I said, the last Pokemon games that I've actually played aside from Pokemon Go were Gold and Silver.
Yeah, that was kind of me too, because I haven't done it, because I had done I had done Pokemon Red and then Leaf Green, which was a remake basically. And then I didn't for a long time, and then I got really, for whatever reason, into X. And then I never got into Sun and Moon, even though I
think
also
I
have
put in the most hours into X.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I got really into like the fashion stuff and the hair.
That's
I don't know.
true.
I got really into
those.
the coordination.
Which you have
stuff,
that. You have that in this game. You have fashion stuff and the hair stuff.
I probably should pick it up. I just haven't thought about it. It'd be much less stressful than Jedi Fallen Order now.
The Shield, why people get Shield would be, I mean, apart from the Legendary, is the Ghost Gym and Galarian Ponyta.
Got it.
Yes.
Oh,
and
shoot,
Corsola.
She's so cute.
Oh, yeah.
Corsola. The new Corsola is
like the
really crazy.
dying coral.
Yeah,
I heard about it. Yeah, it's a ghost type.
Yeah,
because climate change.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like a dying piece of coral. It's really, I don't know.
It's sad looking.
Super sad.
And it's a ghost type.
frowning.
It's a ghost type or something. Because
it is. And it turns into Cursula. Is everybody else's stuff glitching out, or is it just me?
No.
I'm fine.
I'm good.
Okay. And I'm not glitching out?
It's just a
not
connection
glitching
thing,
for
probably.
us.
Cool. Yeah, probably. Make sure that my stuff is working correctly. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I thought that was really cool. And Gumi. Gumi's another one that I really like that's in Shield. And not in Sword. And then there's also Drampa. It's like the grandpa dragon. And it's so adorable.
Oh, man, I'll have to see, because I'm pretty sure, because I'm kind of surprised.
Black
My
Friday is
fiance and my
coming.
brother are usually, they usually jump on this stuff, and they haven't yet, so I'm like, should I just make a choice now and then hope someone gets Sword? I don't know, I'll have to see. I'll figure it out.
Foe has Sword. He can catch all the things we need.
It's fair. That's true.
Hopefully.
More people got Sword.
More people got Sword.
Really?
Yeah, more people bought Sword than Shield.
I'm gonna say because they probably thought the legendary was cooler. It's a wolf holding a sword in his mouth. It's pretty cool. But I do
That's
like a
fair.
lion mane as a shield. That's pretty cool too.
That's a cool idea. Yeah.
It sold 6 million copies in its first 3 days. It is the fastest Switch game. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Dang, that's pretty intense.
6 million copies at what,
I'm not
$60?
surprised.
No,
crazy.
me either.
It's not surprising, yeah.
It's fun. I'm going to tell you right now that I really have enjoyed playing it, and I think it's super fun. And I know most of the people who I know have already like completed the champion stuff.
Elite Four and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, they've already done everything. Like they're in end game now, and they've only caught like 20 Pokemon or something. I don't know, because they've just gone through it. I take my time with games.
My time, yeah.
So
do I. Almost
I'm like,
too much time.
I'm like 20 hours in. I'm not even at the 4th gym yet. I really take my time.
I'm even more than 20 hours, I think. I mean, I've been sick.
Yeah.
Sitting in bed just playing. So I've been like just going through and like catching Pokemon and stuff. I really like the League cards. That's just like super cool to make. I don't know. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Do they have an equivalent of like an X and Y when they had Pokemon Ami, where you could like?
They do. They have a Pokemon
treats?
camp, but they
Oh,
remove
thank
they removed the ability to stroke your Pokemon.
What?
Yeah,
No,
you
that was
can't-
the best part.
You can't pet your Pokemon. You can only have like a toy, like a feather toy, and for the dog
Out.
Pokemons, you can throw a Pokeball for them to fetch. And my Yamper, oh my god,
yeah.
Yamper is so cute. His little feet.
Yamper is adorable.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
no, my favorite though is Nickit.
Oh, that one is pretty
Nickit
cool.
is, but I really like Fox Pokemon. So
That's fair.
It's the new Fox Pokemon, so it's gotta, you know.
Yeah,
It has some
of
pretty cool
course.
skills too. It's a dark and it can steal.
Yeah, it's like a Fox version of Meowth. Kind of. A little bit.
Oh, the Meowth it's really
The
weird
Gigamax
looking.
Meowth. Yeah.
I saw pictures of it.
strange.
It's kind of creepy.
It has
and
tits.
I don't like it.
It has like
Weird.
Wait, what?
I know it's supposed to be like his fur or something, but it
Oh,
looks like
the
others.
Galar mouth.
Yeah.
I thought it does. It looks like he's got like
Others.
several double chins.
Yeah.
Oh my
Looks
gosh.
really
This is
weird.
It's like
weird.
really weird. I don't like it.
And
at
it's a-
all.
and it's a
then
steel
the evolution
Pokemon, too.
doesn't look any different
Okay.
either. Like it seriously is the same Pokemon.
The only
just like
reason-
the double chins have molded onto its actual body instead of flapping around in front of
The
it.
only reason
Like,
I have it in my
All about
party
this.
is to see his evolution. That's all I wanted to see. Once I see his evolution,
Okay,
he's
cool.
out.
Oh,
I don't know about this guy, but no, that makes me sad. Do you know how many hours I spent on Pokemon on me, like just catching
Yeah.
cute Pokemon and then just like rubbing them till they made the cute squeak sounds? Like, Oh, that makes me mad they don't include that. So
you can
didn't
cook
play
curry,
X
I
and Y.
guess. That's a thing.
Yeah. You didn't play X and Y Vogel, but in X and Y they had something called Pokemon Ami. Ami meaning friendship because it was a French game, in French, and you could basically raise its friendship level by, petting it and
Feeding
giving it treats and playing games with it and stuff like that. And you wanted to raise its friendship because it could do cool things in battle like not faint or resist effects and stuff like that. So it was actually really neat to do that.
I'm pretty sure you have that too with the Pokemon Cam in this one.
Yes.
Probably.
So
Yeah.
you still have
you
that
just can't
friendship
pet it.
level.
You just can't
Yeah,
pet
you
Pokemon.
can't pet it or feed it treats.
And it was the best part.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
No Pokemon follows you in the overworld. I don't know. I just feel like
I'm so sad about that.
it's just that it's cool that they sold 6 million copies, but also it's really annoying that they took out all these small little things that just makes it really cool.
Yeah, that's like what I like about. I like my virtual pets. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want them to fight. If I could, if Pokemon existed, I would be the person that would just have had a bunch of Pokemon as pets and just be like cuddle party. Like that.
You probably
would
work
be
in
me.
the nursery
Exactly. Like that's what I would be doing.
or the Pokemon Center.
Ugh.
You'll be like Nurse Joy.
My goodness. What was it? Not Azurill. What was the what's the baby? Is it Azurill, the baby of Meryl or whatever?
Meryl. Yeah.
The blue one, right?
Okay. The blue
Azurill,
one. Okay.
It's Azurill, Meryl, and Azumarill.
Okay. The baby.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness, the baby. I spent way too much time whenever I was in like a bad mood when I was playing Pokemon X. I would just fire it up and get Azurill in and just be like, ah.
And I love the part where if the Pokemon is too big, it will show up on both screens of the 3DS. That's so funny.
Yeah, it was super funny.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So if the Pokemon is like just too tall or something, so basically if it's a Pikachu, you'll just see it because the bottom screen of the 3DS is the touchscreen. The upper one is not a touchscreen, right? So if it's just a Pikachu, it will just show up on the bottom screen and then you pet it, blah blah blah. But if it's a really big one, it will take up both screens. So it's just like
in Alolan
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Exactly.
That's
In fact, I think in
hilarious.
not Alolan, because we never saw that, because that didn't exist yet. But there was some super tall Pokemon. I was like, I don't see its head.
The Pokemon X Legendary was like that. The deer thing, whatever it was.
I can't. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's that makes me sad, but I guess at least I can feed it curry.
Yeah. The curry part was quite funny because right before you eat it, there's a cutscene where your first Pokemon will be like just anticipating you eating it. It's just really cute.
Yeah, it is. It's super cute.
Yeah.
Aww.
Overall, the game is just really fun. Pokemon games are fun. That's like.
Yeah. They have to be.
A couple of annoying things though is the internet features. I'm not sure about anybody else, but it's not really working well for me.
Yeah, so the servers have been pretty unstable. Like it's not quite syncing correctly, I don't think. Because and then yesterday I think they were in like maintenance mode all day long because I couldn't connect at all.
I connected. So basically the past 2 days, the issue that I've been having is, okay, so like you connect to the internet and you get to see what other people are doing basically. People are like, oh, I caught a Ponyta or I have a link trade. And some of these things you can join in, like the max rate battles, you can choose to join in. And after a while, you can refresh all these notifications. I haven't been getting that refresh button.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's happening.
Same. I haven't been able to refresh. And how I've been, like, circumventing that problem
You're disconnecting and connecting back?
No, I don't do that. I do a card swap. So I'll do a league card swap, and then it'll refresh itself.
Oh. Okay.
So instead
So you don't actually have to do the swap. You just have to...
You actually have to do the swap.
Oh, okay.
And then it refreshes, but I don't know. Because I found that just disconnecting and reconnecting doesn't do anything for me. So it does really suck, especially when my friends are doing raids and I'm like, I can't see the raid. I'm sorry, like I can't see the raid. And then by the time I actually see it, it's already started.
Yeah.
So
because there's a 2.5 minute waiting time for people to get in.
Yeah.
You can, however,
Yeah.
put a code on it so other people can't join in. Your friends, but it's pointless if your friends can't see it on the.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't have like a
So-
proper like connection to your friends list. That
Yeah.
there's just so many problems with
All it does is
it.
like, yeah.
That's too bad.
All you can do is like filter like your friends' little stickers. I think is what they are. Like they're stickers, right, or something like that.
Actually, there's always been the problem with Pokemon games. The core gameplay has always been good. It's just the other things that people are always complaining about, like missing features and like.
Yeah.
And
Like not being able to sort Pokemon.
the other thing that
believe that's not
the other thing that I found a little bit annoying is, so your L and R trigger, the back ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you can use that as your
Burst.
confirm button.
Yes, and
So
that's
I was-
that's a
messed me
bad
up
idea.
So much.
Actually, I
Yeah.
like that because
Really?
I can sort of play it one-handed, but if
Oh.
only if they
Yeah.
gave the option for the front ones as the decline button, but it's not the
Right.
decline button.
Yeah.
Because I really like playing
Yeah.
JRPGs with one hand. Some games they actually made the control scheme to be able to be played one-handed. Pokemon Sword and Shield does have an option to turn on casual mode, which lets you play one-handed, but that becomes annoying because your directional pad then becomes your face buttons, your X, Y, A, B. So it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just all they had to do was put the L and R buttons as the decline button, and then it's set pretty much.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I always want to use those buttons to like flip through my menu.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. And even the L and R buttons, they don't
really do
do
anything.
that either. So it's kind of like really awkward to
Yeah.
use that. I've been playing on a GameCube controller because I have a really bad problem with pressing B instead of A for confirm anyway. So the giant A button on the GameCube controller just makes it so much easier for me to
I
play.
get that.
Did you buy like that Bluetooth USB dongle thing, or did you use
No,
wire?
they just make They just make controllers that you can buy that connect to the Switch. So it's not like a classic.
It's the
controller.
Switch GameCube controller,
It's the Switch GameCube controller.
but it's pretty much the same
Which
thing, right?
I really think it's. Yeah, I don't think it's that much different. A lot of people complain that the way that the ergonomic works is a little bit different, but I'm not that picky of a gamer to notice. Like
You're not playing Smash for a tournament, so
Yeah, exactly. So, and actually the connectivity between that controller and the Switch is better than my Joy-Cons.
Interesting.
So
The Joy-Con is just poorly
I-
made.
They really are. And I can actually play with my legs up, and I can play behind my legs with that controller, and the Joy-Cons, they don't even
connect
reach
properly.
that far.
Yeah. But yeah, Pokemon Sword and Shield. I dropped everything. I dropped Red Dead Redemption 2. I still play a bit of Destiny 2, but it's
course.
Pokemon basically. I go to work, all I think about is Pokemon. It's that time of year.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I always feel this way whenever a new Pokemon game came out. I felt this way a little bit with Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Did you play Pokemon Let's Go? You
I
should.
never got into it. It's pretty good.
No,
Especially-
I know I want
Especially
to.
Vogue plays Pokemon Go. You can trade,
You can connect between them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you also get
so
something
I
for your
was-
Pokemon Go. I believe it's some kind of like buff, passive thing. Yeah,
Huh, I never heard that.
yeah. My friend,
That's
basically
interesting.
my friend told me that she traded. She gave me some Pokemons that was in her game. So what she got was like this thing that she can activate to increase the chances of getting. What's that really new one? Like the newest Pokemon.
Cobalion?
Oh man, I can't remember what it's called.
I couldn't tell you.
Metal something?
Oh, Meltan.
Meltan.
So yeah, you can get Meltan boxes, but see, you can do that by just having a friend that has Let's Go Eevee or Let's Go Pikachu.
Yeah.
And then you just give them a
Pokemon
and yeah. So yeah, so I have plenty of I've had plenty of Meltan because my friend just let me get Meltan boxes from him. But I was told that the game really wasn't worth the amount of money.
I think it was a $60 game.
Bucks.
Yeah, but
it's a bit pricey for what you get. But
$40 is okay.
It's still
yeah.
But
I think $60 was kind of pushing it from what I saw because it is it's a shorter game. It's not as long and it's Gen 1. It's not long or in depth as your other Pokemon later games, especially.
It's definitely a game to It's the game you get waiting for Sword and Shield.
Yeah, that's fair. It was definitely the in-between waiting for it.
But with Pokemon Let's Go, you can get some Pokemon that's not in Sword and Shield.
That's fair. There's they took a lot of the old ones out.
They took out fucking Ekans. Yeah. What the hell? Come on, man. It's Snake backwards. That's seriously, it's not one of my favorites.
I know. Yeah. That's why Arbok is just Cobra backwards.
Yep.
They even took out.
I think it's so creative.
They even took out Bulbasaur and
and Squirtle.
Yeah. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
Charizard. Fucking Charizard. Always.
Yep.
Oh, come on.
The dragon the dragon looking thing that's not actually a dragon.
A dragon, exactly. That still makes me mad. At least they rectified that in Pokemon X and Y, but still.
With Megas, right? Which they took out.
Yeah. Which they took out. That's right, they took those out too.
Now it's Gigamax and Dynamax.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool, but I really love the Mega evolutions.
Yeah, the Megas were fun.
Yeah, those were fun. But now, as I was playing it and I was thinking about Dexit, which is, I kind of like that name, Dexit. Very fitting. I was just thinking about, I feel like obviously the whole, death traps and shit, that's not cool. But, the whole point of Pokemon games and the developers telling you is you're supposed to, connect with these Pokemons for a long time, bring them over. And the services you use, at least for the 3DS, to bring them over is a paid service.
Yeah.
And that doesn't seem okay to me. With Pokemon Bank being a paid service and you basically telling them, oh, you can't bring your Pokemons anymore. So what are people paying for then? It's like a $4 a year service, which is...
It's not terrible, but it's still a paid service that you can't use.
It is. It's mostly bits. It's not even... And I'm guessing Pokemon Home will also be a paid service, but I'm hoping it will be... if you have a Switch Online subscription, it will be free.
Yeah, it should be.
Hopefully. So yeah, what else have you been doing, Vogue?
That's about it. I've gone to a couple of conventions, I think, since I've been on the show. PAX West. Had I gone to PAX West last time that I had been on? I don't remember.
I'm not sure if you did. How was it? I'm not sure if you did though.
It was fun. The PAXs are always fun. I don't know if either of you have been to a big convention like that, or
not PAX. No. The biggest. I mean, yeah, I haven't really gone to a huge convention like that. The biggest one I've gone to is the one that's the biggest in my state, which is big, but not Comic-Con big or PAX big. Yeah. So
PAX is big, but it's not at the same time, I guess. Okay. It's definitely not Comic-Con big.
Yeah. That's good.
Comic-Con is huge. But so PAX West is the original one, right? That's where they started. They started in Seattle. And I actually liked PAX East in Boston better than going to PAX West. I don't know.
Huh. What's the difference?
It's just... So, the way that they have it all laid out is at West. It's on 2 floors, like the actual expo hall is on 2 floors, and they put all of the card games and the board games in a hotel like down the street.
What?
So yeah,
it's not even in the same building.
Really weird. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not even in the same building. It's down the street, and like you have to go through all of this freaking security. Like you have to wait in a line so long to get into just like the regular expo hall, and but the board game and the card game, you don't even really even have to have a pass to get in there. Like I don't know, it's really strange to me how like the differences in security and the differences in just like they're not really bringing the community together, rather than like separating all of these different developers and different like kinds of gaming out. I don't know. It was just really weird. I did get into Magic the Gathering there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Magic. Oh, Magic Arena.
Yeah,
I've been playing a
online.
lot of MTG Arena. Yeah, I haven't liked a card game, and I know I'm like so late to the game.
I was about to say, this is your first experience
I'm very,
with Magic.
very late to the game. This is my very first experience of Magic. I saw, because me and my friend were staying at the hotel that the board game area was being held in. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna, go upstairs and look at everything that's up there. And they're like, oh, come and get free Magic cards and learn how to play at the same time. I'm like, okay, I've got nothing to do for like 3 hours. Why not? Let's get some free Magic cards and learn how to play this game. And I have forgotten how much I love card games, because I used to be really into Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I played in tournaments as a young adult, 12, 13-year-old. And so, like, it kind of fills the gap that I feel like I've had for the past 15 years. So I'm like, oh, card games. I completely forgot about this. Collecting things, having things like
in your hand to
tangible
open the package.
Yes.
Oh man.
So
Magic's is definitely one of the most popular ones out there.
Yeah.
I used to play
and the
here.
community is fun. Like I liked the community quite a lot.
Yeah.
The Yu-Gi-Oh community was like very cutthroat, very like, I don't know, much more childish, I guess. Whereas the Magic community is very mature. They're very just, I don't know, very friendly.
Older,
community-based.
basically, I think, probably.
They're older, they're more mature. And you get your wider range, too, because you get the really, like, older people that have their very expensive old cards, and they're very, the collectors and stuff like that. And then you got all the way down to the young people that are still, some that are, just people in general that are just learning and getting into it for the first time.
Yeah.
And you got your weirdos in the middle who are very, like, super into whatever the meta's at and very specific on this is what the combination you have to do to win, and those aren't really the fun people. But I mean, it's overall a community that really does want to support. They just want people who really want to play Magic, in my experience at least.
Yeah. So that was fun. Oh, and then I went to Twitchcon. Twitchcon is really fun.
Yeah.
That was super fun. That's the first time I've ever been on the West Coast. Anywhere on the West Coast was Seattle and then San Diego.
Oh, very cool.
I loved both cities. That's like my time zone too, because I always stay up later to play with all my friends who live on the West Coast. So actually being in their time zone and like, oh yeah, it's 2 a.m. back home, but it's only 12 a.m. here. Yes, this is amazing. This feels great. This feels natural.
That's funny. I've always wanted to go to Seattle. Maybe someday I'll get a chance to go. Haven't got a chance yet.
It's a very nice city. I liked Seattle a lot.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But yeah.
Sarah, what did you do?
Yeah, you. Oh, geez. So I haven't finished it yet, but I have played a little bit of Jedi Fallen Order. It's actually quite good. It is a pretty difficult game. Even your, because they have like 4 different settings of difficulty. They have story mode, which is the easiest mode, and then they have basically, I think it goes Jedi Knight, Jedi Master, and then there's something even beyond that or something like that. But basically, I'm on like the Jedi Knight, so I guess it's maybe normal, maybe
it's probably
easy
normal.
Mode, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm on that because I'm trying to keep my dignity up. It plays a lot like Uncharted meets Dark Souls, for sure. And the reason I say that is because it has a lot of Dark Souls elements, which is you have your open worlds. You kind of take it at your own pace of where you go. There are places that are going to be... Yeah. There are places that... The reason it can feel a little linear is because there are places that you can't go to yet until you learn the required, like, force ability to do it. So, for instance...
so Metroidvania. Oh, that's what I heard. Somebody told me it's like Metroidvania almost.
Yes. It's a lot like that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because there's a bunch of plans you have to go through, but you're never going to complete a planet all the way through when you first get there. You're going to have to go back because there are areas like left unexplored that you can't get to because you don't have the force ability or force power to get past it yet. So, you got to move on,
does
learn
the game,
that force power.
Does the game make it... So one thing about Metroidvanias, especially with like third-person 3D open world ones, sometimes it's a bit hard to get back to like the place you want to be. Like, when you're backtracking, how is that? How do they...
I mean, I guess there's no fast travel. There are different planets that you go to, and each of them has their own map, which isn't, like... So, there's no... So, unfortunately, there is that problem. Like, if you're only gonna get... Your ship is only gonna come through one spot on that map, and then you gotta find... I actually had that problem even within that same map, because I'm very directionally challenged in games, and so it took me a while to figure out, like, wait, where am I going? So it still kind of has that problem, but the map system's pretty good. It highlights pretty well what areas you can go to right now, and it's pretty clear on, nope, you can't go here yet, just to warn you, kind of thing. And stuff like that. So it does a decent job of that. But yeah, there's no fast travel, so you gotta go back to where you were to figure that part out. The reason I say it's also like Dark Souls is even not even the difficulty at all, because the difficulty is the difficulty, but the main things that show it that way, the battle system, there's a lot of dodging and just getting out of the way and then hitting at the right time, but unlike Dark Souls, there's not a limit to how much you can roll. Like, it's not by a stamina or anything. You can just roll infinitely if you want to. You do have, like, a stamina bar for guarding, but not for the rolling part.
Oh, okay.
So there's that aspect. But even pretty kind of stealing the mechanics right out of Dark Souls, they have, you know how there's the bonfires in Dark Souls? They're not bonfires, but they're basically bonfires. They're like little meditation places, and you can save your game anytime. Like, the minute you sit on it, your game is saved. And you also, that's where you spend skill points to, like, level up abilities and stuff like that. But if you want to, like, recharge your health potions, they don't call it that. They call it in whatever it's called in Star Wars, or known as Estus flasks in, whatchamacallit, in Dark Souls. If you want to get those back up, and if you want to heal fully, you have to rest, which means all the enemies respawn, just like Dark Souls. And the other thing that's like Dark Souls is, but easier, if you die in a battle against an enemy, because you gain XP, and when you gain enough, then you get a skill point, just like Dark Souls. You lose that XP that you gained, but if you want to get it back, you don't have to defeat the enemy, but you have to strike the enemy at the last place that killed you, and then you could even run away if you need to, but you'll get your XP back. I don't know what happens, like, if you fall over the cliff too many times, because you lose a little chunk of health every single time you, like, fall off on places. I've been told that you can get your XP back if you just go to the same place. It just hasn't happened to me yet, so I can't confirm that. One thing, though, that's very nice. In Dark Souls, they were very literal in their save points. If you died, out there, the last place you go to is the last bonfire you saved at. That's not actually true in Fallen Order. If you're killed by an enemy, then yes, the last place you reload is a save point. But if you just, like, fall off a cliff accidentally,
which I heard is a lot.
Yes, it is a lot. And you lose a little tick of health. It's not enough to kill you
okay.
unless you're really doing it over and over and over again. if you do fall off a cliff, you don't go to the last save point. You go to, like, a checkpoint right before the cliff. Like, it's pretty easy. They make it pretty frustration-free. So, like, you're trying to jump across this cliff and you miss, you lose a little tick of health, and you probably are back, like, 10 feet. So they don't make that based on save points. So that's kind of why I call it, like, a less frustrating Dark Souls, because they have those elements, but they also added a lot of, you know, parts that would probably make me break the controller, which is why I'm not playing Dark Souls. It is tricky, though. It's especially in the beginning. It's you're kind of low level and you don't have a lot going for you. As you get, from what I've seen other people play, because my fiance finished it in 2 days, once you get more powerful, the game doesn't become easy, but it gets easier for sure. So you just the very beginning part is the hardest from what I've seen. But it's pretty fun. The characters are really strong, which I wasn't sure about because it was another white boy that you play as, and I didn't know how to feel about it. But Cal is really charming. He's actually really fun. And then your crew is fun.
Where
and
is
your little
it?
droid is adorable.
Where is it in the
timeline?
Yeah.
In the timeline, It is pretty quick after. It's pretty. I think it's like right before episode. No, it's in between episode 3 and episode 4.
Oh, okay.
Order 66 has been called.
That's where like
it's like
that's where a lot of the like games and stuff are, like in between 3 and 4.
Oh yeah,
right?
that's where a lot of them, because there's so much gap in between,
that's
right?
true. Yeah, that's true.
It basically takes place, it seems like, I think they've said like 8 years maybe after Order 66, 6 or 8 years after that. Because basically your main character, Cal, was a Padawan when Order 66 was called, and essentially your master saved you, and then you were kind of stuck on this planet for a long time, until finally you kind of got discovered and you're now on the run and trying to help to do something with the rebellion. There's this like secret temple, basically the whole plot of the game basically is you, a holocron tells you about some information of where you can find like the new, the new Force sensitives that are now out there, basically. But you have to like go to all these planets and solve these puzzles in order to get that information. So, and you find friendship along the way. The droid is super cute. BD1's adorable. So
they always need that one cute thing. I heard Mandalorian has a baby Yoda.
Yes, it does. Oh yeah, I've seen Mandalorian too. Anyway, but yeah, no, I think you'd really like Fallen Order. It's pretty good, especially if you're looking. If you're looking for that Dark Souls feel without it being Dark Souls, it's good. And yes, you get to like run across walls. The mechanics so far for me with like the exploration part, running across walls, the jumping, stuff like that. I don't have all the powers yet. Pretty fluid. I haven't had a problem with it yet. We'll see where it goes though. Some parts can be frustrating there, but we'll see. You don't take fall damage, I forgot to mention. If you fall off a cliff, you do. But, like, if basically the rule is if you can see the ground, you can jump to it. It's not going to hurt you. So that's a nice rule, too. But, yeah, BD1's adorable. It's basically a tiny little droid that walks on 2 legs like a chicken. And it just kind of sits on your back. So, yeah, that's Fallen Order.
Nice.
What's the other Dark Souls-like game that... Bloodvein? Is that what it's called?
Blood Rain?
Bloodvein.
Bloodborne.
No, not Bloodborne.
Nope, not Bloodborne. Shoot, what's it called?
Vein?
It's by the same people who did Dark Souls. It's by the same company. So it
the
is
anime
Dark Souls.
Version of Dark Souls is
Code Vein.
Code Vein. I was like, I know it's
never
something.
mind. Different game. I thought you were talking about a different game.
Yeah, that's true. The anime Dark Souls. Yeah, anime Souls.
Yeah, anime Dark Souls is what it is. Funny. I haven't played it. But I've watched lots of streamers play it, and it is 100% like anime Dark Souls.
Such anime. I thought you were talking about, I think it's Blood Rain. Oh my gosh.
It's by the same people. What you're talking, yes.
It's basically, it's made by the same people who did Dark Souls. It's basically, what do you call it? Steampunk Dark Souls with vampires, is from how I understand it. I was told, yeah.
It was like the new, somebody said it was the new, oh my god, my brain is blanking now. The old vampire games.
Oh, Castlevania?
Yes.
Yeah, I gotcha.
My brain kept going Metrovania, because
I get ya.
You just talked about it, and it's
I understand completely. I would have done the same thing. But yeah, it's like Dark Souls from Castlevania. I never played it. I was told I would prefer it because again, the reason I'm willing to put up with Jedi Fallen Order, and the reason I've been told I would like Dark Souls, even though I don't think I would, is I like games where I have to dodge things. I don't know why. I just really like things where that's part of the gameplay is like learn to dodge things. I think it's because when I play Jade Empire, which is I don't know if you've ever played Jade Empire. It was made by BioWare back around the time of KOTOR, so it's basically Knights of the Old Republic, but in basically a fantasy Asian country kind of thing. It's got its own problems there, but the gameplay was very much just, you're in a kind of like in a kung fu movie, so you did a lot of flips around back everywhere before you hit things, and it was just a fun, very simple gameplay, and that's what the kind of games I like. And that's, I guess, apparently, I think Bloodborne, whatever game we're talking about, I guess it's easier to do dodge mechanics there, because the problem with Dark Souls is you have a stamina bar, and depending on how heavy armor you're wearing, you roll a lot slower. Yeah. And so it can be a bit of a mess if you don't know what you're doing, which I don't usually do know what I'm doing, so it all works out. But yeah. But no, Jedi Fallen Order is good that way.
I haven't played any of the Star Wars games, like, at all.
I didn't play a ton of them growing up either. I played, like, KOTOR Knights of the Old Republic was one of the most popular ones. I played that one, definitely. And then the second one. I never really got into Jedi Academy, even though I heard those were really, really good. And I never got into, like, battle, whatever the battle games basically are. I never really got into those. Because I like the story,
I take it back. I have played a Star Wars game.
Which would you play?
Whatever the pod racing was that came out on MS-DOS. Like,
okay, yeah.
Like floppy disk, kind of. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember playing pod racing when I was, like, 6.
I don't know about the DOS version, but they made more, I think they made one for, like, the PlayStation or something like that. I heard those were good. I never got into those ones because that wasn't what I was interested in. I didn't want to pod race.
Now I need to figure out what it was actually called. It was like the original, like, Windows first Star Wars game.
I have to see what, oh my gosh, on a floppy disk? There is, like, a Star Wars Racer game. That was from, like, 1999, though, so I don't know if that's
No, it was much earlier than that.
Oh, man.
Like,
I'm talking about old
95. Games. I'm talking about, like, old games.
I wonder if they even still have it.
Star Wars Attack on the Death Star, maybe?
There's something called Shadows of the Empire 96. There's a Rogue Squadron. Man, they made a lot of these games. I didn't actually realize that. I don't know why I didn't think about that.
It was very specifically PC.
Yes.
Had to be on... I think it was Attack on the Death Star, maybe. It looks like...
So less pod racing and more trying to blow up the Death Star?
And of course I was like 5 or 6, so
so who knows?
My memories of it could very well have been like in a TIE fighter and not in a pod, but it could very much have been in a TIE fighter and not in a pod. How
would you know the difference back then? I wouldn't. You're in a thing that flies. I just remember
playing that. And I remember playing Journey to Middle Earth with my dad.
That's amazing.
So Journey to Middle Earth, of course, is the original, like, Tolkien...
Lord of the
Rings. Yeah. That was also a great game.
What kind of a game was that?
It was
an adventure game?
Yeah, it was an adventure game. You just pretty much played as... you played as Frodo.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure. See, now I'm trying to, like, recall all of these things that... I do remember the box. Like, the specifically, like, the box of this game came with a map of Mordor. And... Oh, man. Now I'm trying to remember, like, exactly which one that was. It was definitely an adventure game. More like RPG. Like, you would fight little, monsters and things on the.
I'm having trouble finding it because it's also the name of a board game that came out for this. Yeah. So, because right now all the results I'm getting are like the board game versions. Now there is a Steam version, PC version, but it's also just based off of the board game.
No.
What are we talking about?
I bet you I can find it.
we just started getting in a sidelong discussion about like because
the battle for Middle Earth.
Oh, okay.
Or War in Middle. No. War in Middle Earth.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Are we talking about the RTS?
We're talking about a game that was
on old.
Like DOS, like MS-DOS, MS-95 version game.
We got to this because Vogel said that she never really played a Star Wars game, but then she's like, well, no, I did play one that was like on DOS. It's like a pod racing, maybe a TIE fighter game. We haven't figured that one out. And then we got to this. But yeah, that's just how it goes. So yeah, did you find the name of your lost
War? It's War in Middle Earth.
War in Middle Earth. What does this box art look like? I'm curious. War in Middle Earth. Oh man! Whoo! Look at those graphics. Oh man! Oh, whoo! Someone made this on Paint. Oh, that's great. Oh man, that's pretty great.
Yeah. So just this is what we're looking at. Pupunoob.
I love it.
Yeah.
Old
game.
Woo!
But the box art and like the map, specifically the map that it came with. Okay, so here's the map that it came with. And I think it was like, do y'all know what an Omeki box is?
I don't think so.
Okay, so
what is that?
How I know what it is that I used to buy like JRPG games, and it would come with like a collector's edition box, right? It'd come with like little trinkets or things like Ark the Lad. The one that I got had like little button covers for your controller with it. And it had like little pop-up figures that you could make and put it, but anyway, it's like this nice like collector's edition box set of just crazy things. And it comes with stuff like maps and just cool stuff. And so I feel like that's like the old version of an Omeki box. And I don't even know if I'm like saying that correctly.
Okay, got it, gotcha. Okay. The original one, you could say.
Yes.
Got it.
I didn't even know Ark the Lad came in a collector's edition.
Yes, Ark the Lad. Let's see. There's Ark the Lad, Lunar 2, and Growlancer are the ones that I had bought before.
I've never actually played Ark the Lad, but I've played Ark the Lad. Okay, it's the one where you have two characters. They're brothers, and they're like half demon, half human, half Deimos, half human.
PS2 version?
Maybe? I think so.
We're all having like these old recollection brain farts today.
Yeah. It's terrible.
But I loved it.
Yeah.
It's great.
But yeah.
I love old school RPGs. They're if I could just go buy like all the collector's editions of these games again, I totally would. 100%.
I know. Someday.
I've been playing Pokemon mostly, but I also just finished The Preacher, season 4, last season.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the season finale. Like it's like last season. So no more after this. And yeah, just small Preacher. It was pretty good. Felt a bit rushed. Maybe they didn't expect to finish a season 4. Maybe they were expecting a season 5 kind of thing, you know, sometimes.
That's too bad.
But yeah, everything was resolved, and I recommend it. If you like The Preacher, I think it's a really good TV series adaptation. Right now I'm just waiting for The Witcher. I want to see Henry Cavill in the bathtub.
Yeah, baby.
But it actually looks pretty good, though.
Yeah, he actually looks pretty decent. I know people were hard on him. They didn't know they weren't really believers. I mean, I'm not a huge like Witcher person, so I don't really care either way. But I believed in him. He's got the chiseled chin.
Yeah.
There was one thing that I watched very recently that I was pleasantly surprised about was the Dark Crystal series.
Really need to watch that.
It was so good. Like,
I
went really into it thinking, I'm going to hate this. It's not going to be the Dark Crystal. It's not going to be what I think it's going to be. And they just did an amazing job with it. Yeah. And I really, really, really hope it comes back for a second season. Because, like, I literally binge watched that whole first, like, series season as, like, in, like, 3 days. It was awesome.
Wow. Nice.
Honestly, that's all I did. Preacher and Pokemon. A pretty good week, though. Pretty good couple of weeks. Yeah. But yeah. News time? Not much.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go news time. Just a couple of small things first. Level 5 will be making a SingVogel game for the Switch. So SingVogel is a action JRPG kind of game, but it was only for the 3DS in Japan. So now they have finally released it. They're finally coming to the West on the Switch. I'm not sure if it's a new game for the Switch or if it's gonna be like just a remaster of the 3DS game.
Right.
But when I was following this game a little bit, because it was level 5, I follow level 5. It's one of those games where you can buy like toys for it. Like you buy weapons and stuff. So I'm not sure if they're doing that.
Like amiibo kind of stuff.
Maybe. Like all I saw was like the swords and like in a small little form. So I'm not sure if they're doing that. So that's the thing if you've been waiting for. Atlas have announced that they're gonna make an announcement about Persona 5 Royal. They have announced their announcement for Persona 5 Royal to the West. It'll be made on December 3rd, 2019, 9 a.m. PST, 12 p.m. EST. So yeah.
So wait, is this a new announcement of a new game there? Like
Persona 5 Royal.
Announcements?
The PlayStation 4 game with the expansion stuff that was only in Japan. So now they're gonna make the Western announcement, but this is the announcement of the announcement. So yeah.
Got it. Okay, I didn't realize it hadn't come over here yet. I kind of stopped.
Yeah, that's day one. That's day one by. Fuck. Okay.
Have fun.
So much. Not enough time. Steven Universe Future is also coming out, right?
I know. December 7th, right?
Yeah, 7th.
It's they're doing an hour.
Hour special.
Hour special. I was like, whoa! I was very surprised about that, but they're just going right into an hour special and then see what's
from
after
the
that.
Trailer.
The last
it looks like, from the trailer, it looks like it's gonna have some dark moments, which is what I'm kind of looking forward to. Yeah,
I'll be curious.
And Steven's going full pink.
Oh man, be curious to see. I hadn't seen the trailer, but I'll just be surprised. I kind of like to just kind of go in those things blind, so I'll be curious. But yeah, I was shocked. I was like, already?
Right.
I mean, because
we waited quite a while for like there was a huge gap.
Oh, there's always huge gaps between seasons before. It was terrible, and so now I'm like, whoa, back to back to back. This is strange. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Oh, have you guys gotten your Stadias yet?
Yes.
Have you tried it out?
Oh yeah, I guess. So I haven't played it myself, but my fiance tried it out. So she tried out basically like one of the fighting games I think that came with the pre-order or something like that. It's something called, it's not Samurai
Killer
Warriors.
Instinct?
It's called something. No, it's not even that. It's basically like a rip-off of a Soul Calibur with different characters. I forget what it's called. It's not Samurai Warriors. It's called like Samurai Dynasty or something cheesy like that. And she tried that out, and it plays very fluidly. Load times were not that long,
really?
Comparatively. no lags that we saw. We didn't play. She didn't play for a long period of time. It was just kind of a test because the problem is that there's the news that it really rips through your data like nothing else.
I've been hearing a lot of problems with it. Overheating of the Chromecast, like overheating to the point that it just shuts off.
I wouldn't be surprised. Again, we didn't play it for that very long. It was just kind of a test run, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised because I've also just dealt with overheated Chromecasts for
there's
videos,
a problem
so
with the Chromecasts.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Especially the older ones. The older ones were terrible.
Yeah.
The newer generation's not so bad, but
but the older ones were I know because we had problems with ours. To be honest, I'm even though my brother and my fiance both got one, I'm kind of relieved I didn't. It's still a really cool idea, but like the main problem is that their library just isn't as good as we thought it would be from what we've heard.
There are rumors about Amazon announcing theirs next year. Probably at E3.
Yeah, I'll be curious. Oh man.
I mean, Amazon has actually put in money into like their video game stuff. They have like an engine or something, and they have like studios.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Google. The only thing they did was hire like a bunch of execs. That PlayStation guy, the bald guy, I can't remember what his name is. He worked for Microsoft. He worked for PlayStation, and now he works for Google Stadia. He's like the president guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's Google. They have so much money. They always do this. They dabble in certain things. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. And if it doesn't, they'll just kill it off. They killed off so many services.
That's what I mean. Yeah, we'll know pretty quick if the Stadia is actually going to last. Because like you said, they'll just kill it off without a second thought if it doesn't go well. Which is why I'm actually kind of relieved. Because I'm not saying it won't go well. It may turn out really well. I've been surprised before. But I will admit that like I kind of misunderstood the initial how it was going to work, especially with the game library, and right now it doesn't.
How's the controller?
Controller seems fine. It's a pretty basic controller. It feels okay. I'm trying to think. I don't know. To me, it kind of reminded me of like oh geez, not the Steam controller. I don't know. It holds okay. I haven't played it for long periods of time, so I couldn't really say like how it's actually gonna feel after a while. But it felt fine. It felt like a pretty stereotypical, very simple buttons and stuff like that. It doesn't overload or anything. It doesn't really break any new ground. so it's just fine.
A couple more problems with it is the 4K is not 4K. So to get 4K, you gotta pay a subscription or something, right?
I think you have to pay a subscription. You also have to have the right kind of voltage because ours has a warning that says you do not have the right type of voltage or whatever to support 4K. So we already know.
So basically, Bungie, who the guys behind Destiny 2 and Destiny, and because Destiny 2 was one of the big titles that launched on Stadia.
Yes, I forgot to mention, we tried Destiny 2, and we just got out of it because it was like, next in queue, 9,000 something.
Oh, yeah. Destiny 2 has server problems now. Probably because of the Stadia. Like even Steam players can't get in. PlayStation 4 people can't get in as well.
Yeah.
So, Bungie has confirmed that the 4K version on Stadia is not the same as the 4K version on the other platforms because on the Stadia, it actually renders at 1080p and then upscaled to 4K. So it's not actually 4K. So people have been doing like comparisons for other games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and stuff. So like they feel kind of pissed off because they feel like they've been lied to, which I can't really blame them.
Yeah.
Because you're also paying a subscription for the 4K thing.
Yeah. And that's why I think like this whole Stadia thing, I remember at first I was pretty excited about it, but I still was pretty hesitant to actually buy into it. And now, like, again, it could be great. I'll see. But they're just really not putting the best foot forward. It takes up way more bandwidth than we thought it would. There's the 4K issue now, and there's just a lot of kind of weird things going on. Just not really trusting it right now. And the game library just is not as good as we thought.
One more issue that I saw, somebody complained about, like, if you have that subscription, you can get discounts on games that is not part of subscription, but you can buy. The problem is when when they go in to buy these games with those discounts, they get a warning saying you can't access these games when your pro subscription is over. So you subscribe, you get the discount, you actually buy the games.
Buy the games.
But when your subscription is over, it's not.
Ooh. Google, what you doing?
God.
No, that's not good.
How are you gonna be?
That's a mess.
You have a subscription service. You force people to buy some of the games because it's not part of the subscription service, and you take the games away after they buy the games. That's crazy.
Yeah. So
what the hell?
That's
so they buy the games and then they have to still pay a subscription fee to still play those games.
That's insane.
That's crazy. Oof, not good. Not a good look.
Yeah, this is a really bad launch.
Yeah, I'll
say
be
the
curious to
least.
see how it goes from here.
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted if I get to try out some more. We're kind of afraid to play it right now. At least
Because
I
of the
am,
bandwidth.
just because. Yeah. No idea what that's gonna be like.
Wait, do you guys have a cap on your?
Well, we don't really know. We're under Xfinity Comcast because it's really the only decent one that's around here. Is either that or AT&T, and hell no, I'm not gonna do AT&T.
Same here as well.
I don't really have much of a choice. I don't know if we have an official cap, but I mean, right now they could just put on a cap, like they just could without telling us.
So most of Xfinity Comcast bundles or whatever services do have a cap, and as somebody who has hit the cap, well, streaming. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you stream a lot, then you can hit the cap really easy.
Yeah.
It's like a terabyte a month or something.
Yeah, it's something like that.
I pay
That's what I
extra for no cap.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like $30 extra a month, and I'm like, yeah, add it on. I just want unlimited.
Yeah. That's actually, what's sad is that an extra $30 per month is a lot. It's probably an extra like third of what maybe you pay, or I don't know how much you pay. For us, it would be. But like, unfortunately, I get it though.
We unfortunately pay quite a lot for internet and like cable services.
Yes, I just
the
realized
alternative
our
is AT&T, which is not better at all.
No,
especially in our area, the speeds are lower. They don't have an unlimited plan. Especially as a streamer, like you can't. At least in my area, like I said, that's not saying other parts, because I know other streamers who have AT&T and they're pretty happy with what they have.
Yeah.
But where I live, it's not good.
Yeah.
At
where
all, and you end up paying more for less benefits from it.
Yeah, because I had AT&T when I was with my parents for a while. It was awful. It was awful. And that was even before I got into streaming, but it was around the time I was starting to upload to YouTube. And literally, uploading a 10-minute video could take like 3 hours. I would just let it all run overnight. And so then when we finally changed our internet, because right now my parents have WoW, which was a lot better, and it was like night and day when that changed over. We couldn't use WoW here. Our only choice were AT&T or Comcast.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're not using AT&T. But yeah, so that's kind of the problem. So I don't know. So I'm curious to see where that's going to go, because, that's going to be a big problem.
And sorry, I'm talking, I went data limits instead of bandwidth limits. I just realized that I made, like, that connection, but I know that there are bandwidth limits, too. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That wasn't connected.
That's true. No, I get them. I conflated them as well, to be honest. So it's all good. But yeah, I think there is one. I think that one's less of that they'll make you pay for it if you reach it, and just more of you can't do it, I think. But
yeah,
we'll see. I'll keep you posted if I keep playing it. I'm not really playing it, but if I see it, I'll keep you posted how it goes. I'll be very curious to see. It works. I just don't know how useful it really is at this point.
Yeah.
Interesting technology, though. For sure. But yeah,
Next
what else you got for us, Shar?
Okay. I kept the two not so nice ones to the end.
Oh, man.
So there's this publisher named DANGEN Entertainment. It's a publisher based in Japan. But it's not like just Japanese people. The guy who started it is I think American guy, white guy, that worked in Capcom or something, so he probably has ties to like some Japanese people and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not paying their devs. So they publish indie games. So the two games that have been the two developers that have published games with them like quite recently, that have been talking about this. Is a game called Bug Fables, which looks actually like really good. It's basically you playing as a bunch of bugs in a Paper Mario RPG style game, and it looks really
that's
good.
cool.
Yeah. But he basically said just fucking pirate it because he's not gonna see any of the money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
another game called Devil Engine. So I can't remember which developer asked them to just pirate it, don't buy, because even if you buy it on Steam or anything, he won't be able to get all the money, and the publisher is currently like blocking ability to publish on other places like Humble and itch.io.
That's
So yeah,
Yikes.
other games that they have published that is more well known is Iconoclast. What is the other game? Crosscode, which is also a really popular indie game, and yeah, like a couple more that I am very familiar with. So yeah, that's kind of shitty, and hopefully, and because they're in Japan, it's not exactly a really straightforward thing to like sue and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of sucks. So yeah, Dangen Entertainment, just keep an eye out when you're buying something, I guess.
Got it, yeah. Nope. No money, thank you.
Yeah. So the last one is about Activision Blizzard.
Uh-oh. What do they do?
More.
What do they do now?
More about Activision Blizzard.
Yep.
What do they do now? The scamps.
Pretty much.
The CEO, Bobby Kotick, made a statement saying he doesn't think his company's games should be used as platforms for sharing political views. This is coming from
Oh, boy.
the people who have Call of Duty, who
Right.
who recently took an actual war crime committed by the US and blamed it on the Russians in the game. So yeah, this should not be political apparently.
Yeah.
Oh
Not
my
at all.
gosh.
Nope.
Here we go again. Oh my lord. They're just trying to backpedal with the Hong Kong thing at this point.
Yeah, just
It's
shut the
like-
fuck up. Like just stop
Yeah.
talking.
Ah.
That's
Sometimes it's just better
that's
to not
the one
say
thing about
anything.
these. Exactly. That's
I
the one
know.
thing about these big companies, that they're just not like, and maybe I'm, just a person seeing it from the outside,
Yeah.
but pay some people to shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like, I mean, just do that. Like that's probably what you need to do. Slap some NDAs. I don't know. Like I don't know, but you have enough.
They're
just-
so big. I'm sure they have a
Shut
lot
enough.
of PR people telling him, "Shut up, just don't say anything."
Yeah.
But he's the CEO, so he can do
Stop.
whatever he wants.
Yep, exactly.
He's also worth like what, $8 billion or something like that. He's like,
Ugh.
I know that some executive directors or CEOs, people who are heads of company, feel like they need to address these big things that are being talked about in the outer world from their own view. And they do. They feel like they can just go and say anything and it's not going to do
Anything, I guess.
anything
Like a
at
raise
all.
Questions.
I-
They
Yeah.
they end up bending over backwards for the ramble rousers out there.
the rich, eat the rich.
Yeah.
This guy makes a good point. He says, "I don't want politics in my games. Just means I want politics in my games to go unexamined." That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true, though.
Yep.
It's very true.
You can't judge me for the themes that I do because I don't make political games.
Yep.
Okay. You can't look into too deeply. It's just a game.
The overpaid
Yeah.
head of a company that exploits tax laws across 2 hemispheres doesn't want people to think too hard about policy. Imagine that. Some pretty good comments here.
That's pretty
So,
great.
okay, so this is gonna be like a little bit of devil's advocate here,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like it's an argument that goes alongside. Well, video games don't create violence, right? So it's like, well, we can put political things in our video games, and that doesn't, like, why does that matter? It's a video game. But yet, we're also saying that, you know, violence in video games doesn't create violence, which I don't necessarily think that it does.
The reason I see them as different is because, to me, one is a company that, one issue is the idea of, like, okay, are we scientifically saying that that playing violent video games is causing this surge of violence? To me, that's a scientific issue, or, you know, more of like almost a medical psychological issue.
And it usually stems from after like a tragedy or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. The other thing to me is less of a why should it matter, and I actually just even look at the idea. I actually get the point that that Char was saying, what the guy was saying is, like, don't examine the game too hard. So it's more of like criticism and less of causing violence. I guess that's to me what the difference is. Basically, to me, when these people say we don't do politics in our games, to me what they're trying to say is don't criticize our ideas for the political views in them, because we don't do political games. And we're all kind of like, what do you mean we can't criticize you? That's how I see it. I see it them trying to protect themselves from some, to me, just kind of, at this point, pointless criticism of the idea of, like, what they stand for.
And
so
then
that's
there's
to me
the
what the
whole,
difference is.
Everybody wants video games to be taken seriously. Everybody wants video games to be seen as an art form, which comes with criticisms, which comes with...
Right.
Evaluations of what the ideas are. Yeah, making statements.
Moral statements, ethical statements, political, any kind of statement.
You know,
you can make a statement. People can not criticize, but other people can criticize, and it's just like
exactly. Yeah. And I think that's the thing too. Like, we kind of were talking about last time. We kind of talked about that. Was it Call of Duty or was it Modern Warfare? Sorry, I don't know the difference.
Same thing. It's Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
They are the same thing to me.
The one that
the new
they basically took they took an event that happened. Yeah, it was an event that happened that the United States caused. They called it the same event, but said basically Russia did it in this game. And we were just talking about how that was just kind of lazy in general, because you couldn't even just make that event be called something different, like, so you wouldn't even have to reference because it basically made it almost seem like
you can literally
history.
Google the name of the event and it will come up. It literally has a Wikipedia entry.
And so for us, you know, they of course, you could fire back with, well, it's just a game, and that's fine. But at the same time, it's like, well, what kind of statement are you making by purposely using this name of an actual historical event and saying it was not caused by United States, it was caused by Russians? Which, you know, on a surface level, maybe like, well, we're just trying to be different and creative in an alternate world. Okay, but what does that say in the bigger picture when we know about United States colonialism? You know what I mean? And so that's where things get kind of, whoo. Okay, you can't just say I want to be serious as an art form. We're serious business here, but then also say don't criticize me. I'm just a game. You know, so that's how I see it different from the violence issue. But I totally get what you're saying, but I just see it different.
Yeah, like on and you're going way deeper than what I even like meant.
That's what I do.
I do the same. I mean, we're in the same field, so I do the same thing. But from a political mindset, we're talking about people who have no idea what they're talking about when it comes to psychology, when it comes to science. They don't. Yeah. Science isn't a thing, right? Like we all believe that the Earth is flat.
Not just that. It's people who are not influenced. It's people who are not affected by normal day problems.
Yeah.
Right.
People who can say, like, I don't care about politics tend to be people who are not affected by the politics.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So, every time.
Exactly.
And when it's a rich CEO saying it, like, obviously he's not affected by it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's what I meant by, like, it being on a political agenda in the way that violence is connected to video games. That's and so fair. They use the same argument that, well, that doesn't connect because it's a game. And just, I just think that the way that you can skew those kinds of arguments, like, oh, but it's an art form, just like what he was saying, it's an art form. We can do what we want. It doesn't cause any issues. But when they get criticized from the outside, it, like, you can use the same argument for both. I just thought that was fair. Interesting.
I see what you mean. Like, it's okay. I went over here. It's okay. It's all okay. No, and unfortunately, you're right. They are probably going to see it as very similar ideas, even though they are very different. But that's
what I meant. Is like you can kind of play devil's advocate by using the same argument for both issues. That's what I meant. And the people who are there every day playing the games aren't going to get that they're two different things.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna take to the streets.
I like this one. COD doesn't deal with gender identification and LGBTQ representation, so it is not political to the target audience. Murder and war is just entertainment to them. To people who play COD, and it's probably true. Because whenever I see like more politics, it's always about some kind of gender or sexual representation.
Yeah.
And it's never about fighting corporations, which so many games do. Like fucking Final Fantasy VII, for fuck's sakes. Fighting corporations.
It's called scapegoating.
And for the love of God,
scapegoating.
war.
That's what it's called.
How is war not political? It's fucking war.
It's always caused by politics. I don't know, man.
Religion and politics.
I know, exactly.
So many JRPGs, they like to criticize religions. A lot of JRPGs have like religious themes and stuff, which is always the bad guys in the game. That's
the cults,
basically,
the religious,
so many Final Fantasy, the bad guys are
the Catholic Church of
pretty much
JRPGs.
Yeah.
Every time.
JRPGs love their religious themes, and there's always the bad guys. They're always the bad guys.
Yeah.
So it's like, politics can be more.
It's always science fighting religious, or the other way around. Because I'm thinking about like Final Fantasy VII, where like Gaia and the Earth and everything is fighting science.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. It kind of just depends where you're at. Or like, I haven't finished Fire Emblem Three Houses. I originally came to that game thinking it was going to be a very basic like religion is bad, but it's a little bit more nuanced than that. Actually, it's a lot more to kind of do with the idea of, honestly, it just talks about that war is bad and people kind of. When you try to fight against someone with a clear ideal, sometimes it gets messy.
Wasn't there a few people, like journalists even, like reviewers saying, keep politics out of The Watchmen?
Oh my gosh.
The Watchmen.
Watchmen? Yeah, no, it is true because, I mean, I've only seen the first episode of Watchmen, which
but
is
not
really
just
good.
that,
I just
from the comics. Come on, man. Like.
I know. No, I was just going to say that, like, people got up in arms because it had the Watchmen new series is very clear, like, white supremacy, kind of stuff in it.
Sounds
and
really
people
cool.
were like, oh, man, politics. I'm like, did you guys not know the original story at all?
Is Alan Moore not...
Yeah.
It's Alan Moore, right?
Alan Moore, yeah.
I mean... I thought he writes, very provocative, like, satirical...
That's kind of his
That's
point.
his thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, that's kind of his point.
V for Vendetta. There's definitely no politics in that.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Why are these people that say no politics also the same people who love V for Vendetta?
Then with that Guy Fawkes masks.
Yeah.
Or they're also the same people who love Hideo Kojima, and I'm like...
And Hideo Kojima is not subtle at all.
He is not subtle.
No, he's very clear about what he wants to put through his games. And
I was just talking about
Hideo
Kojima and how he's not subtle, but and sometimes it feels very clumsy because he's all about exposition. I feel like he is what he wants to be what Yoko Taro is, which is the guy who made Nier Automata. And he's really good at, like...
That's true.
It's not just about the subtlety. Like, he just meshes all of it really well. And it's not just about exposition. Yeah. Like, he loves his philosophy and all that. And if you love philosophy, you will be able to see all the themes. And he uses the name of the authors and the name of the characters in all the stories as well.
Yeah.
So it's not super subtle or anything. But he just meshes it really well. While Hideo Kojima doesn't really.
He just kind of blatantly in your face, like...
Yep, in there. And you know what? I have to give Hideo Kojima this credit. You can criticize his political ideas. He doesn't give a shit.
You know what he said about...
He'll let you do it.
Somebody asked him about, what do you think about all the negative reviews your game has been getting? Because I guess it's like...
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna say it's the first time it's been so split down the middle like this.
Yeah.
He said, Or maybe Americans are just not used to deep games and just like to play shooty shooty bang bang games, basically is what he said.
That is super funny.
That sounds like a very I am very smart comment to make. I don't know, man. It's just
oh man. He's an asshole, but that's really funny.
Man,
that's hysterical. Well, that's the thing is like I've never really, I mean, I haven't played a lot of Metal Gear Solid, but his games are not particularly pro-America from what I've seen,
really.
So I'm not really surprised.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hysterical. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, cool stuff.
So yeah, I kept that one for the last for obvious reasons.
Yay.
I'm out. I have nothing else. Not much happening this week. This couple weeks.
I don't think I really have anything to share either.
We can wrap up.
Do you have anything for us, Vogel? We can wrap up if you want.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. You first.
Where can we find you, Vogel?
You can find me at Twitch, xSingVogelx, and on Twitter, same thing, xSingVogelx.
Sarah.
All right, and this is Sarahscopic, Sarahscopic. I am on Twitter. We'll see about YouTube. I don't really trust YouTube these days. I don't even know if I want to go back to YouTube. That's a different story.
The UI has been changing bit by bit. It's just weird looking now.
It's kind of, yeah. Well, also just some of the new policies they're doing that are really like. Anyway, not important. You can find my old videos on YouTube. I'm trying to get back. Yeah. Trying to get back into Twitch. Sarahscopic's the same, and hopefully I'll have more news about an upcoming podcast I am part of. And stay tuned for that.
Pupunoob, Pew Pew, and Ruby, you know where. This has been episode 165 of the playonultra podcast. Thank you very much for watching and listening. We will see you next time. Oh boy.